Hey guys, this is Jose.
And it's Nigel again. Welcome back to ChaplinCast. This is 20 Minutes of Love.
The first film Charlie Chaplin directed.
And it was released on April 20th, 1914. Just a couple days after Charlie's birthday.
And 2 days before Nigel's.
2 days before mine. So basically, if you watch our last commentary about Mabel at the Wheel, you'll see that Charlie got fed up with being told what to do by directors at Keystone, and he basically put up his paycheck to Max Sennett and said, let me direct a movie by myself. And Max Sennett goes, why should I let you do that? And he goes,
I'm Charlie Chaplin.
Well, yeah, well...
I'm kidding.
Well, a year later, I'm sure that's what he'd be saying. But he basically said, listen, he goes, if it doesn't work out, I'll put my paycheck up. So I'll lose the money. So you won't have to lose anything. And thankfully, it did well, and he got to keep his check, which is probably $75.
I think they said it was $150 a month.
$150 a week. That's what it was, yeah. So, and history was made. This is the first film that Chaplin directed.
And what's amazing is, one thing you notice, that Keystone wanted him to pretty much play Ford Sterling, and here's the first movie that Charlie Chaplin is in control, and he's the tramp. He's not at all Ford Sterling. And he was developing his own identity and his own character in film. And that's what's important about Chaplin, that he was developing a new idea, a new character, a new film, really a new aura in film. And this is where we're at. It's a more intricate storyline than the ones we've seen before. It's more than just slapstick, but there's development, there's things going on, he's spending time with other characters. And what's interesting in the other films, you might see 100 people in the shop, but here it's just 3 people in the shot, and he's giving you time to really spend with the characters in the film. Now, that looks like, I could be wrong, that almost looks like it's Hank McCoy with the big mustache.
Let me check. I don't know.
Another case.
And that's Chester Conklin, right
Without
there.
a mustache.
Without a mustache.
Not playing a
Not
cop.
playing a Keystone
Wait a
cop.
minute. I think Hank McCoy is wearing Chester Conklin's mustache.
He looks so much different though, doesn't he? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna come clean here. We had
You're gonna come clean.
We had to re-record this commentary
Because we were looking for Chester Conklin the whole time.
dressed as a Keystone cop.
Or having the big mustache.
Because in the book it said that Conklin was in this movie, so the whole time we're making fun of it, we go, where's Chester Conklin? He hasn't come out yet. The whole film, and he's been in it since the beginning. So we're redoing it to make sure. He looks like, that's a lot of black makeup around his eyes there.
Now, Chester Conklin is confessing his love to this woman, and she pretty much says, unless you come back with jewelry, I don't want to hear it. See, that's why it's better not to deal with the female species. No, I'm just kidding. But guys, honestly, let me just give you some advice, which not like I have any good advice. Neither does Nigel, for that matter. But here's our advice. If you tell a girl I love you, and her reply to you is...
Prove it with a gift.
Prove it with a gift? Run. Run. Of course, Chester Conklin does it.
Charlie has the rip in his jacket too. Still.
That has to be Hank McCoy right there. It looks just like
I don't
him.
know. Let me check. Hold on.
We're not doing this one over if I'm wrong, by the way.
No, that's this one. Nope, that's not him. It's not him. It says Gordon Griffith, Edgar Kennedy, and Joseph Swickard.
That's probably who it is.
I don't know who it is, but...
Well, here's the girl that wants Conklin.
That's Arbuckle's wife, Minta Durfee again.
Here's this...
Did you know... Oh, no, I'm sorry, that's Minta Durfee. She was in a film called It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World, made in the early 60s. She actually has a cameo in that movie.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where she is in it, but I'll have to look it up. Because I was looking at her IMDb page the other day.
That's what we do for fun.
That's what we do for fun on my days off. But It's a Mad Mad World had tons of celebrities. The Three Stooges. Every comedian you could possibly... that was around in the early 60s. Whether it be from the silent era, Buster Keaton's in it, or the comedians of the day, they're all in it. Well, Chaplin was in Switzerland at the time.
Banded from America.
But I think we should get back to 20 Minutes of Love, because we're talking about a movie that was made 50 years later. Where Charlie was in exile.
Here's a nice scene of Chaplin and...
This is a very Ford Sterling-esque... That almost looks like when he's stealing the umbrella in between showers. So see, Charlie definitely took some Ford Sterling traits, and he put them into the Tramp character. I think he took the best of all the other people at Keystone and put them together, and he added that to his character as well.
And granted, the greatest character in film history. Now here's Mr. Conklin looking for the watch. Can't find it. Of course, Chaplin stole it. He's a master thief. This woman, you don't really love me.
But think of it that way. People dismiss these other actors that were around before Chaplin came out, but honestly, if it wasn't for them, Charlie may not have been what he was.
Or
it took those influences to add to his own personal special qualities.
And one of the things that we talked about, and Chaplin even talks about in his autobiography, was how key even Mabel Normand was to helping Chaplin as a director. And one of the things you mentioned in the last commentary on Mabel Behind the Wheel is that she helped him become comfortable in front of the camera, and his relationship with some of these different people really proved to be important,
very beneficial to
in
his
the development
career.
of both Chaplin and the Tramp. I mean, 'cause obviously this is a very, very early Tramp, and how much? I mean, I just saw the kid the other day while I was in Brazil. How much has the Tramp developed from 1914, and 20 Minutes of Love, to the kid? How much the Tramp has changed, developed, matured. There's a maturity of Chaplin. It's as Chaplin matures as a director, as a writer, producer, so does the character of the Tramp.
But he also maintains a lot of this slapstick Keystone elements.
Absolutely.
For his entire career, he harkens back to these comical bits,
Which,
in one way or another.
Which one thing that's important about Chaplin is that he never forgets where he comes from, and he always alludes to it, and that's why the Tramp plays a homeless person in a sense, or he has relation with the orphan and the kid. Chaplin never forgets where he comes from, not only in his natural life but also in his career. I mean, and he even alludes to it in Limelight, in that one scene when he says that's the Tramp in me. There's always that slapstick element. He cannot escape where his roots are from.
And once again, that famous quote, "All I need to make a comedy is a park, a policeman, and a pretty girl."
Here it is.
Exactly the kind of film he was talking about. Now, he would do films like this more at Keystone, that we'll get to later. In the Park, which was an S&A comedy. Basically, later on in Chaplin's career, when he needed to make a film quickly, he'd go to a park and make up a film like this.
Which is amazing. And even this concept of film...
Look what he did to his hat there, too.
And one quick interesting thing about the film, this is one of the few shots where Chaplin is not the shortest person in the scene. Now, Chaplin would take the idea of all I need is to make a good comedy, as a cop, a girl in a park, and you look at a movie like City Lights where he meets the blind girl for the first time. It's almost like a park in a sense, and it's still there. It's still hinting in some of these other films.
Very true. It's probably the local park that was near Keystone. Yeah, if you watch the S&A comedy In the Park, which we'll get to in a while, it's very similar to this one. I could even say this is a remake, or that was a remake of this film.
Now, what's interesting, I just realized about Chaplin is, I don't know a Chaplin film that doesn't have a cop.
It doesn't have a cop in it?
Or them being chased or hackled by the police.
Well, without a crazy policeman chasing Chaplin through the film, would it be a Charlie Chaplin movie?
Exactly. Or girl, for that matter.
Well,
actually, 1 a.m.
Think about it. Oh, yeah. Well, that was a rare beast, though, that film.
A rare beast.
But think about it. Okay, Cops and Chaplin features The Kid.
Gold Rush. At the end of the Gold Rush on the boat.
Well, they're looking for a stowaway on board. I don't think it's a cop, but it's close enough.
Yeah.
Modern Times, throwing the communist flag.
Well, City Lights definitely at the end when the cops are...
Oh, yeah.
The circus. What I love about the circus is we've talked about this before, the circus, especially Gold Rush, the circus can almost be split up in as a few shorts, and the whole beginning of the circus, that whole part with the guy that steals the wallet is almost like a Keystone.
Oh, easily.
Very easily like a Keystone slapstick, especially the scene where he's being, where they're in the mirror and he's being chased by the cop. It reminds me of some of these early Keystone films where there's those scenes where it's in front of Chaplin and it's either him running, driving, or riding a bike like in Mabel Behind the Wheel. I mean, he never escapes that Keystone-esque nature about him.
He always added elements of the Keystone films into his later work.
I wonder
you think about, And that was what made Chaplin so perfect, was it was a perfect amount of comedy and slapstick, and then also dramatic and, pull at your heartstrings type of
And I think
filmmaking.
this year's classic Chaplin slapstick, where it's just absolute chaos, people are running, falling, getting kicked, falling in the water. It's that's one of the other elements of Chaplin-esque movies. Now, here's one of the few times he leaves with the girl. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our redone version of 20 Minutes of Love.